To be more organized.
Yeah. Study harder.
Just have fun with my kids. To walk my dog more.
I tried to quit smoking, but I didn't make it.
Hi, I'm Kayla Buchanan, and welcome to Around the Region. A new year is a great time for a fresh start. However, most good intentions and resolutions don't stick for more than a few weeks. Well, we spent some time with local experts getting their advice on how you can make 2012 the year you succeed at them. Our first stop was the Thorpe Recovery Center. I am joined now by Dr. Lisa Luciano, who's going to give us some tips on kicking those bad habits. So for everything from smoking to nail biting to knuckle cracking, why is it so hard for us to quit these bad habits?
Well, I think that bad habits range quite a bit. I think, the types of things that people are doing have different impacts on them. So somebody that's a nail biter would be quite different than somebody who's got a problem with overeating or a problem with smoking. You have a whole different physiological reaction to those types of disorders, eating disorders or eating habits and smoking. So to quit is a difficult task. It's not something that people can usually do right away.
Could giving up one behavior lead to picking up another one?
Absolutely. Unless people look at the issues that underlie a habit, it's very easy to go from one behavior to another, and that's usually because something like anxiety might be soothed by a habit, and if you don't find another way, a more healthier way to deal with anxiety or with whatever the underlying problem is, you're going to just look and seek something else to fill that gap once you've given up one thing.
How long can it take for these changes to stick?
Well, I think that the answer to that question ranges quite a bit depending on the problem, but I think that the most important message to give people is that if they're trying to change something, just don't stop trying. Just keep attempting to change.
What can people do to really stay on track?
I think that an important part of quitting anything is to do things that hold yourself accountable. So I think that it's important to let the people in your life that are close to you know the changes that you're attempting to make. I think both for support and also so that you have another way of holding yourself accountable. If no one knows, it's easy to slide back into old behavior and give up the attempt to change.
What are some of the benefits other than becoming healthier are there to ending these habits?
Well, I think there are many benefits to changing bad habits. I think that personal growth is one of the best. I think that anytime we face something challenging and are forced to face it, the reasons that underlie a bad habit, we're able to grow and change in ways that are good for our lives and good for our families.
Is it harder to break a habit the longer you've been doing it?
I think there's probably some truth to that. I think the more ingrained it is, the tougher it is to find alternate solutions. It's like anything, the more you're used to doing something, it's kind of grooved, I guess, if you will. And if you think about trying to change a behavior and compare that to trying to change the direction of a stream, if a stream is going this way and there's a lot of water going down there, it's hard to get the water to move in another direction. So it's not impossible, but it's difficult.
Can every bad habit be broken?
I think that if people have attempted to change something that they believe is a bad habit several times and they're unable to, that it might be a sign that it's more than a habit. It might have progressed to an addiction. So, professionally, often we'll tell people if they're trying to determine whether they have a problem with something, that if they've made several attempts to change and they cannot, and they've done everything that, some of the suggestions that we've made here today, that I think it might be an important time to seek professional help if they've made reasonable attempts to change and are unable to.
Well, I want to thank you for sharing these great tips with us. And coming up after the break, we look into one of the most popular resolutions.
Let me think. Count calories?